Chapter 11. We are on Chapter 11. So recently, Celeste has been fake dating Buck, Jack's father, so that she can spend more time at the house without it seeming suspicious. So one day, Buck takes his car in for an oil change, and they think this is a big enough window to fool around. So they're doing it in the kitchen, and there's a lot of leftovers, because it was just Christmas. So they're having fun with the leftovers, just like smearing it on each other and licking it off and stuff like that. But what they don't know is that the oil change that Buck is supposed to get, for some reason, is supposed to take hours. And since the place isn't that far away from his house, he just walks home. Which it's like, man, I don't think it takes that long to get an oil change anyway. So for them to think that that was a good enough window to get down to these kind of shenanigans. It's like, oh yeah, he just went out real quick to get an oil change. He went over to the Jiffy Lube. Hey, let's not only have sex in the kitchen, let's get out all the food and just smear it all over ourselves. I've never been into food with sex. I just feel like I would just focus more on the food. So what's happened is, Buck comes home, unexpected, and he catches them. They barely get their clothes on in time, but Celeste's pants are unbuttoned and open, and Jack's hair's all messed up, his shirt's all pulled at. They also have food on their skin, and there's like food like spread all over the table. Like not the way you would if you were getting out the leftovers to eat the leftovers. In a way that if you got out the leftovers to fuck on the leftovers. So in a lame attempt to hide what they were doing, Celeste, she slaps her bare stomach and she says, "You'll excuse my appearance, I hope. I had to unzip these puppies and let my gut breathe. I need to take it easy on the leftovers." Which, look, Buck isn't the smartest guy. He's a pretty basic fella. But he's suspicious. He knows there's something going on. So all Buck says is, "You certainly don't have a gut." He's trying to, because the human mind can only compartmentalize so many things. So the last time he kind of caught him, he was able to be like, "Oh, okay, she's just here tutoring him." And now it's a little obvious. I mean, they're pretty much caught. So Celeste does the only thing she can think to do. And she decides that the best way to distract him, to take his mind off of what he just walked in on, would be to fuck him. She guides him into the bedroom, and pretty much just like she does with her husband when she does let him have sex with her, she just curls up, kind of like in a fetal position. I know it's bad phrasing for this. And just sticks her ass up in the air. Just basically presents her ass to him. I began pushing back toward him with an animal energy, half trying to push him off me, and half trying to make him come. I reminded myself of what was at stake. By the time we finished, he needed to be absolutely convinced that it was him I wanted. I hadn't come to the house to hang out with Jack. I began performing a satirized impression of a cliché pornography soundtrack. Near the end, Buck started audibly grunting, a throaty, primal groan that sounded like a Marine completing an obstacle course. He seemed to be losing steam. His thrusts were more erratic and further apart, as though he had to recharge between each one. I had to close my eyes when I saw it then in the doorway, unmistakable. The top half of one of Jack's white athletic socks, his toes peeking closer toward the door's entrance than he realized. So Jack was watching. Jack watched the love of his life, or so he thinks, because he doesn't really know any better. He saw the absolute love of his life getting plowed by his dad. That's a lot of therapy bills right there. That's a lot to unpack. So later that night, Celeste is in bed with her husband, and they're sleeping. I don't think Celeste could handle two legal-aged penises in one day. The little phone that she gave to Jack starts buzzing, but she can't answer As much as she wants to, she can't. It's too risky. So the next day in school, for a long time, Jack isn't there. And she starts to get nervous. But eventually he does show up. He had the near black eyes of someone who'd been up all night interrogating himself. So Jack's not looking good. He's got a lot on his mind, and he probably hasn't slept. Imagine he's probably laying there at night listening to his dad snore, because his dad was definitely sleeping like a baby after that. So after class, she locks the door so that they can talk. So Jack is very upset, and he says, "You slept with my dad. You didn't even give him time to say anything," referring to when he walked in and caught them. As he began pacing from side to side, I started to worry. It wasn't safe for Jack to be this upset at school. One offhand remark from a pimply smartass in the hallway, and Jack could throw a punch. Then, when confronted about his uncharacteristic aggression in the assistant principal's office, Jack would lose it and begin spilling details. So she knows she needs to calm him down. And he walks to the door. He wants to leave, but the door's locked. And I guess it's locked with a key, so only the teacher can unlock it. And he's like, "Let me out." So as a kind of peace offering, she offers up her ass. She strips down and she climbs on the desk. She gives him that peace offering, the piece of ass offering. And she doesn't even like to do anal, but she takes one for the team. And after it's over, to her surprise, while she's getting dressed, she hears a little click. And that click is Jack taking a picture of her with his cell phone. And she wants him to delete it, but he says, "I'm keeping it. I got to have more than he has." So now this poor kid's like competing with his own dad for this girl. This is like a Jerry Springer episode. You guys remember Jerry Springer? I guess this situation wouldn't be on Jerry Springer, though, because of, the illegal sex crimes that are taking place. They're all up there. It's Jack and Celeste and Buck, and they're trying to have like a regular Jerry Springer episode. They're like, "Well, you slept with him, and you slept with him." And meanwhile, the whole audience is like, "Wait, he's only 14? Excuse me, sir, should we get somebody?" So after Jack leaves, she teaches some more classes. And after one of the classes, Janet Feinlog comes into her class. Janet is the older, fed-up, burnout teacher who, if you remember, Assistant Principal Rosen was keeping a close eye on her because her performance level wasn't very good. And then Celeste offered to have Mrs. Pachenko, one of the students' mothers, was helping Janet observe the class. Celeste was writing up like some fake reports, like the class was going terrible, but Celeste was basically lying in her reports about it, that they were showing signs of progress and things like that. So AP Rosen bought the whole thing, and now he's leaving Janet alone. Her head's no longer on the chopping block, and according to Janet, AP Rosen's shoe has officially been removed from my butt. So this whole chapter is about having pain in your butt. So Janet's super happy, or as happy as she can be to keep her job. I think she's just more happy that she's not being hassled any more than she already is. And Janet tells her, "Damn it, you're the only decent person who works here." And that was chapter 11.